What's going on? We here with a new episode of the New Hood Podcast, and we here with the guys. It's a new year. We got Josh, we got Shawn. What's up, fellas?
What's happening?
What's up? What's up?
Oh, man,
New
nothing
Year's
much,
same
nothing
gang
much.
though.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. Man, so it's been a little bit of a minute, but we getting back into the groove of it, getting into the new year. Yeah, man, same old stuff. But just to, I guess, end out, well, to begin the new year, like, how would y'all, if y'all was to recap last year for y'all, how would y'all rate it? How would you, good, bad, ugly? What y'all got for me? Who want to go
I'll
first?
say I don't think it was too bad. Definitely accomplished things I wanted to accomplish as far as checked off pretty much everything I wanted to. Finished school. Um, Felt I had a good military career as far as doing that things and job. Was able to be active. Kind of want to be a little bit more active as far as spending more time with the family and start to like be the one to initiate it instead of being the one they'll do that. But as far as I think I've rated, pretty well, pretty good. Still definitely room for improvement. Some things I want to try to challenge myself to get out the comfort zone. But I think it was actual dope year. I mean, this one ain't starting off good, but I mean, the
It
world.
ain't starting off good.
I'm saying the world just crazy.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
crazy. I'm about to say, but me trying to think of like even doing like saying like what I want to achieve this year. Like I honestly don't know. That's the good part. I mean, I guess continue paying off debt. Finally got my credit back right. So ended the year with that, and I just cruise, baby, just cruise.
Okay. When you say get your credit back right, was your credit bad for a while, or is it,
So
how
I end
long?
up doing a debt relief program, and they make you basically tank your. Where they say like you can't pay the people off for 6 months, so you can do the consolidation loan. And so
Mm-hmm.
basically, it taints it and breaking it down from I was in like the sevens to like it brought it down to like 530, and now I'm
Oh,
finally
damn.
back up to the sevens, and so finally was able to get my credit cards and stuff back and everything. So now just learning about interest rate. I say the thing I want to learn about investing, like actually being smart with money. I think that since y'all won't give me no money for the parlays, so I guess I'm gonna give up on that dream. Okay, guys, I ain't
Let
gonna
them
make it.
parlays go, brother.
Chad, I'm not gonna make it. Okay, I'm not gonna make it.
Man, them parlays ain't parlaying, man. Just let them
Hey,
go,
shit, who you
fellas.
telling? Who you telling? What about
Yeah.
y'all though?
I think
Go ahead, Sean.
I think mine was good, definitely good. I know we had did a pod last year around New Year's as well. And I was saying, I had some goals in mind and I think I reached most of them, but I just closed on the biggest one that I had in mind, or I'm in the process of closing on it. And that was getting my first investment property. So um
Congratulations, brother.
Congratulations.
appreciate it. So just definitely keeping that momentum. Like bro said, I feel like I improved on a lot of areas, but there's definitely still room for growth. So just making sure that I implement more of that family time. Um, and I think this year I just kind of want to focus on those moments as far as like, oh, I took my son to go fishing earlier, focusing on moments like that as opposed to, trying to come up. I think 2024 was a big year for me of, I had so much stuff going on that I feel like in some ways I kind of put the family on the back burner a little bit just because, exhaustion, you know what I'm saying? But this year that's going to be my main focus.
Okay. That's what's up. Well, for mine, I mean, honestly, the last 6, 7 years been all good for me. I can't really complain a whole lot. So just another year, just building, figuring out what I want in life, when I grow up or whatever, figuring out, family, all of that stuff, and just continuing to do everything in, with good intentions. Making sure I'm doing everything with good intentions, and that ain't always gonna come back to you in like if I do this for somebody, I'm going to get this in return. You know what I'm saying? Just, understanding that and still doing it because that's what I would want. You know what I'm saying? For somebody to do right by me or just be able to be confidently talking to me, knowing that there's no ill intentions. So, that's really my the positive about last year was like fully and truly committing to that. Like, man, I don't want to have no conversations where I'm not being honest on how I feel about something. I don't want to be involved in nothing that could make my name look bad. And if I'm gonna be involved in something that I may not agree with, it's gonna be like because maybe my job requires me to do it. I'm going to make it very, very clear that I don't agree with this. You know what I'm saying. So um, that school, just finishing that up, certifications and stuff. Like you said, investing. I've been slowly but surely doing those things over the last 6, 7 years, and for like stocks and all that stuff ain't the greatest time to see the benefits of it, but it's a great time to get involved because a lot of stocks are low, so it's a great time to buy. So just doing them type of things and being with the family is always number one. As you could probably hear my son is in the background, but yeah, just being with the family has been always a positive. So that's been a year for me.
Cause you're getting towards the end of your degree, right, DJ?
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty much done. I'll be done with it this by the spring, but I mean, I'm going right into
to masters,
another
right?
program, yeah, in
Yeah.
August, so it ain't really gonna stop that much.
I
But
feel
that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. So I don't know if I'll be doing like two classes at a time for the master's program. I may, just depends. So yeah, that's the good part is I tell people every time because I'm a part of this African American Heritage Association for the base, and I've been telling all the younger people like, bro, don't wait till you my age to get back in school.
No
Like get
facts.
get in there, finish it now because I went to school straight out of high school. I went to college straight out of high school, and it didn't work out the way I wanted it to because I didn't have my mind right, and I was to an extent I would say intimidated to go back to school just because I failed at it, and it was like my first time really, really, really failing at something. So it wasn't that I couldn't do it. It's just I didn't want to have that feeling of like I didn't do it again. So getting back into it has been a good thing, and it's been like a confidence boost in myself to be like, bro, just like you tell everybody in your mind, hey, I can do anything. Like this is just another thing that proving to myself I can do that too. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's all good. Like it's all good. I can't complain about nothing really, man. But yeah,
that.
That's what's up. Nah, facts.
Definitely.
man. But what up, man? Let's what topics we want to get into?
Uh, I say we
I know
go.
quite a few on with Sean's topic, so I
Yeah.
think
I'm about to
it'd
say,
be
Sean,
good for
just
him to
whichever
introduce
one, brother.
Um,
Hey, we got a lot chat, a lot of topic.
I guess coming to piggybacking off of what we just said, I guess one of the questions that kind of resonated with me was when do you deserve it? When do you
him.
feel like, I earned this rightfully so, when do you feel like you deserve it? And I guess it's kind of a broad statement, but a question.
Man,
Yeah.
every day. What's
Hey,
mine?
just that. Hey, hey.
I think I try to the biggest thing where I try to say like we always said like what's for me is for me, but truly believe that no, like if I didn't put the work in, and if it was just handed to me, then I don't feel like I deserve it. But if I feel like I actually did the things that I was supposed to, no matter what it is, if it's a award, meaning I did the work to get recognized, I did the things to make sure I was put up for it and things like that. And then if I get it, but if I didn't put that work in and just say, for instance, for me, I have a good supervisor who can write. She can just play with those words, and then it kind of shites the other people that may have put that work in. That's when I feel I don't deserve it. But it's that's a tough question because my pride get in the way. So of course I'm gonna feel I deserve it every time until, of course, past that initial stage, and then when I sit there and reflect and be like, well, did I deserve it or
I
no?
kind
Or
of didn't do shit.
yeah, I didn't. When I think about it, would have been nice, but I really ain't do nothing. Because that's always the initial. Because you be like, somebody won over me. They know who I am.
Right.
Then I look what they
Yeah.
did, be like, bro, deserve that. He out here saving the world.
It is.
Yeah.
So
I ain't
that's
gonna
a
lie.
go ahead, bro.
My bad to interrupt you, but like working like this is more on the military side, but working in where I work at now, I get to I grade packages all the time when it's time to say who
Mhm.
the person of the quarter or the annual airman NCO whatever of the year, and like it really do kind of humble you a little bit. Like looking at some of those things, you'd be like, because when you don't win and you don't see who like what they actually did to win, so you do kind of have that like what? Like, man, do you
Yeah,
know who I am? You know what I did? And then, but like then seeing somebody, because I be seeing like even in the young airman categories, I be seeing some of their wins, and I'm like, oh wow, if he really did all that,
yeah,
like
yeah. I'm
he
gonna
might
say,
be able to do my job right now. You know what I'm saying? And so it do give you a little humility in that. And I think in general, it really do now. It makes me look at everything a little differently. Like whenever I don't get a dub in something, I don't want to I don't try to harp too much on like, man, what didn't I do? But like it do make me think like, okay, is it some like T's I didn't cross or I's I didn't
that.
dot? You know what I'm saying? So which is always a good thing to go back and do, because if you don't, man, you gonna always lose. If you just really always think you the shiniest, yeah, you good luck. I
I'm
mean,
not gonna lie.
there are some people.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. For the most, I mean, I've always felt like that in my career until I came to this special duty, and then being paired with other AFSCs
Hmm.
is I don't know how to get them to understand what I do is important.
Yeah,
Because it's easy for other medics look and be like, "Oh, dang, you doing all this? You to go." But someone from Intel is like, "Okay, bro, you did your job."
they
It's
be
like,
like,
hold on, what are you talking
hmm,
about? Like, brother, I don't think you know. Like, ask about me.
yeah,
Like, I got people that can vet. But
yeah,
the last point I'll say to answer up your question, Sean, I think it's making sure you have a good circle. Well, first, like for like some people, like Braxton, for instance, he's good. Like he always will tell you, like being by himself or like he has that confidence. With me, I make sure I have to have a circle because sometimes I know I'll tell myself wrong. And so, like to ask you guys whether it's dealing with Call of Duty, whether it's dealing with day to day, especially work, reaching out to Braxton, letting them know, like having someone else vet that and be like that can give you that honest feedback was like, bro, you ain't deserve it. Like, I'm looking at this. Because if you don't, if you just have people blowing smoke, then you would be those people that be like, oh yeah, they against me. They just
yeah.
they
The
friends.
yellow
That's
boy
all the reason
smoke.
why. Yeah. So
Hmm.
that's the best thing I say, man. Make sure you comfortable with the work you put out or the things you're doing. And I think you'll deserve it. And add that piggyback, man. Just making sure you have a good circle around you, no matter who that is. Who just some good people that can confide in, not just tell you what you want to hear, what you need to hear.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. On top of that, though, well, I guess it's my turn. So I say, I like with the when do you deserve it part. Is always I always say you deserve it when you get it. Because it's gonna be some. It's been some times where I felt like I deserved it. Like for instance, last year I didn't get promoted, right, and I missed it by half of a point. So, as much as I would love to say I deserved it, right? Like sitting back and thinking about it and looking at it, and I looked at, not to say I wasn't really well deserving, but what made me kind of like pump my brakes and like say, hey, humble yourself a little bit, was when I looked at like when with ours with the promotion, it tells you your promotion number, like your how many points you got for your whole thing, and I saw that it was me and I think 16 other people who missed that promotion by point 0.5 and in my career field. You know what I'm saying? So it was 16 of us who didn't make it by that point 0.5. So it wasn't like I was just the only one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So obviously there was 15, 16 other people who probably was just as deserving, just as good. And they also told them, no, it's not your turn. You know what I'm saying? So that's what made me realize, like, all right, you know what? I think I'm hot shit, but like that don't mean it ain't other people that ain't doing their thing too. And it's like, all right, wait your turn. Your turn to come if it's meant for you. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's when you deserve it. You deserve it when all the work that you put in results in what you were going after. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's that's when I think you deserve it. Although it's gonna be some times where you were just as deserving, but that don't mean that it was your turn. So, do you
No,
deserve it?
facts.
Sure, but realistically, it just wasn't your turn, so probably not. You know what I'm saying? It probably was something more that I could have did. You know what I mean? And that's why I say, like, this year, last year. So the year prior I didn't make it. Then last year I did make it. You know what I'm saying? And I made it by a lot. So, but I what I did was, and this is to kind of like put that cherry on top, was if I really didn't deserve it that last time, what I did was got up and sat down with people and asked them what things do I need to do to strengthen my package to make sure that I'm just as competitive as I was last year, and if not more. And I had to go do those things, and that's not easy when you get denied, to pick yourself up, and especially getting denied by a little bit. It's not easy to pick yourself back up and then get right back into it. You know what I'm saying? But I did that, and then I got there. You know what I'm saying? That's happened twice to me in my career. Twice I've been denied by a small amount, and I had to get up. I had to, wipe my eyes, or, lick my wounds or whatever. And then I had to go humble myself to sit down and talk to somebody and say, like, hey, what am I missing? And they was like, you're not really missing nothing. It's just we're gonna work on these things to make it a little bit more. And then the next year, not only did I get it, I got it by a lot. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you deserve it. When you take that road less traveled, because a lot of people, they get knocked down and they like, all right, that's it for me. You know what I'm saying? Well, good luck, because you don't know what the next year gonna bring. You might have a tough year to where you can't even put in that amount of effort, uh, as you could have last year, but instead you whined and cried and bitched and moaned about it, and it didn't work out for you. So good luck now. So I think you deserve it when the results come. And sometimes, as much as it might suck, sometimes them results don't come because you didn't actually deserve it, and you never put in the extra work to get there. So, you know. And that's not to say you suck if you don't. You know what I'm saying? It's just mean it wasn't for you that time. It wasn't for you, it wasn't your turn, and you didn't do everything that you probably could have done. So
I
that's where I would put it.
definitely
Facts.
agree with that.
What about you,
I agree
Shawn?
with that. I definitely agree with with everything both y'all said. I think you deserve it when you put in the work. When your work speaks for itself, when others are able to see it, um, it becomes evident. Uh, you can look at somebody and be like, man, they don't deserve it, but you don't see the work that they put in behind it. Like you were
Hmm.
saying, you're able to be in the behind the scenes now, to where you can see those packets that come through, and you're like, dang, like if they did this, like they deserved everything that they got, So sometimes when you don't see it, you feel like maybe you were deserving of it, but in reality, you may not have been at that point in time. But it's like you said, you put in the work. You went and spoke with somebody and said, hey, how can I reach that next pinnacle? How can I reach that next level? You put in the work to get to that point. So, I think that, and like you said, sometimes it just don't be your time.
Yeah.
Even if you did put in the work, that doesn't necessarily mean that, like you said, DJ, it doesn't mean that you're gonna get those accolades or that kudos, um, and sometimes that's for a reason. I feel like sometimes you may not get it because your audience may not be there yet to give you that pat on the back and give you those hand claps and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
um, I think it's just a matter of keeping your head down and don't feel entitled. That's another thing too. Don't feel like, oh, I need to have this because I did everything. You know what I'm saying? Just keep your head down, grind it out. It'll come to you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, I got one to add then. Uh, I got one to add then. Since the like deserve it part, right?
Right.
When do you think you deserve it? Do y'all believe in This is now a new topic, but do y'all truly believe in like luck? Like, do you think some people are just naturally lucky, or any of that? What's y'all thoughts on luck? Starting with whoever want to go first.
Mm,
It's tough for me. I mean, I guess I would say yeah, and because it has to be because I feel like karma is luck. It's just a different name. Basically, how you then some people I feel have more than others because I ain't gonna lie to you. Some people that they get out of situation, out of situation, out of situation, and then one other person do that, and it's like, nah. I'm like, that's crazy. It's no way.
Hmm.
So I definitely think it's. I mean, some people say faith. Um, People just change the name, and I always tell people I try not to preach, and I just tell people whatever you believe in, whether that's luck for it, because like just hearing how people was going crazy for the New Year's, it was like I found out there's a checklist. I was apparently doing it wrong. Maybe that's why I wasn't getting this $1 million bread because I wasn't doing everything on this checklist. I heard it was like have money in your pocket. Everybody in the house have money in your pocket. Um,
brother, you from Mississippi? You knew that.
no, 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 no. I know walk through the door. I've never heard this. Of course, cook the greens, the black eyed peas. Heard you eat grapes under the table. Make sure
Incredible.
all the clothes is folded and put up. There's no dirty clothes everywhere else. That means you'll be doing that all year. It's like so much. And like it was funny because me and my wife was talking about it, and it was like we believe like those things only happen like if you truly believe. Like if I told you guys to do it and you never heard of it, I don't think it would have the same effect because you're just doing it because someone told you, not something you believe in. And that's when
Right.
I think it comes down to whether it's luck or I just think it's that good karma of believing in what you believe in.
Okay. What about you, Sean?
Uh, I don't know if you. I don't know if it'll be. I don't know if I hold any stock in the word luck. Like I believe in karma. I feel like whatever good you put out in there into the world will come back to you eventually in some way, shape, or form.
Hmm.
Whether you know it or not, but uh, luck. I don't know. I think luck is just kind of like from my definition. I ain't Google the definition or anything, but from in my head when I think of the word luck, it's just walking down the street, minding my business, and I come across $1 million. Like, oh, you got lucky. Like, I don't know. So no, I don't really believe in that. I believe there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
On fact.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm a little bit more on your side too with that one, Sean. But I do. I think it really I like the way Josh said, like, if that's what you believe in, like,
Yeah,
whatever it could be, depending on how you view it, you define it. Like, luck can be, like you said, the reciprocation of, like, energy, and like good energy. You do good things, you get good things in return and all that stuff. I think I can I think I was about to say, I mean, I think I can see that. I just don't like the, kind of like what Sean said. I don't like the idea of putting too much luck in, like too much stock into luck, because when it comes to luck, I don't like the idea that it's just like for some reason you get something more. I think
Yeah.
sometimes good things happen to you, and it's because you put enough positive energy around out in the world, and it's gonna come back around at some
Facts.
point. Um, and I think that's why I think when you do it like wholeheartedly,
That's a
because
big,
I
yeah.
hear
I
a
was about to
lot
say
of
that's
people.
That's
the
what I was gonna
Yeah,
say. Yep, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
yeah, man. Because I hear a lot of people, you know, think that they're these like pure souls and good people and all that good hearted people, and realistically they're not. You know what I'm saying? It's because in their mind they're like, oh, if I do these things I should get these things in return, and it's like, but it's very specific.
facts.
Like, you expect that if you give money to the homeless that eventually you'll get money back, or if you're nice to a girl you gonna get some eventually. Like, these aren't like that. I don't think that that's the same, and I think that sometimes people attribute luck and all that to that type of stuff, and I'm like, nah, that ain't how I think. When you do things and you like it's so many times when people attribute anything in my life to luck, like, man, you lucky. I was like, bro, you don't understand how many times I sacrificed what I could have for somebody else to have. I didn't say nothing to them about it. I didn't throw it up in their face. I didn't like make a deal out of it. I knew that there was a high chance that I wasn't gonna get nothing in return.
Facts.
And so maybe if what you're seeing, what you call luck, and maybe this is my season. It's kind of like what Diener said on an earlier topic. Sometimes that maybe it's just my season because of all the accumulation of good things that I've done. Now it's my turn. And
Facts.
sometimes that's in the vibe that you actually give to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people think because they said they did something nice, now everybody should be like really like grateful of it. And it's like, no, you do
Thank
those
me.
nice things, and yeah, it's like, yeah, look at me, give me my props. But when you do things the right way and people really feel good about it and they don't feel judged or any of that, sometimes people will look the other way. You know what I'm saying? For other things. It's like, nah, yeah, he good, or they make any excuse to excuse you from it. So, and it's like, yeah, but because you don't know what I did for that person, and I never and that person know I did it, and I never spoke of it. Even when they try to bring it up, I was like, nah, don't I ain't do that. Like, it just because that's just what it was. You know what I mean? I'm not cashing in favors. And I think that's the part where luck is. Like, I think sometimes if that's the case, then like it takes away from like good deeds, being wholehearted with it. So I don't too much believe in luck. I think sometimes things do happen, and you're like, yeah, hey, by the grace of God, by my luck, yeah, sure. But I think more often than not, it's just the amount of work you put in, sometimes the good energy you put out, and like, it's been people I've said and done things for them, and I didn't think nothing of it until years later when they brought it up, and then it made sense why that person always held me in high regard, because of the one time I really looked out for them, and I didn't even think I was doing that. So like, I did well, not that I didn't think I was looking out for them, but I just was doing what I would want somebody to do for me. You know what I'm saying? And like, what somebody would be like, oh man, you lucky to have a friend like that. It's like, no, you don't know when I was there for that person in their darkest moment, and I ain't never talked about that. You know what I'm saying? Or been like, hey, you lucky I was there for you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so you might think I'm lucky to have that person, but we lucky to have each other. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? And that's how that those things come back into you, what I'm saying, in that way. That's the part where I'd be like, yeah, don't attribute the dark moments I didn't had to luck, like, or the time I went without, or I let somebody have it when I could have, what I'm saying, when I could have really, benefited, and I didn't. What I'm saying? That's not luck. That's just, hey, it's my turn. What I'm saying? And that person appreciated it, and I appreciate it too, and then we just rolling with it. So, but yeah, that's my thought on luck, man. But y'all got anything else y'all want to add to that?
No, you did good, brother. Great topic. Like that.
For sure. Well, what else we
What
got,
else
man?
you
We got
got?
some videos that we could watch and kind of we could kind of get on. Oh, actually, I actually like this last topic that Shawn had. I think this was your topic, Shawn, about the kids growing up and all that stuff. You want to introduce that one?
Are you ever worried that when your kids grow up, they'll look back like we do now and say our parents definitely tried, but they didn't get didn't get it right, and I want to raise my kids differently.
So, so I put that one in there
I was about to
Oh,
say,
okay,
I
my
because
think I put that one in there.
bad.
because I know we talked a lot on the topic as far as like especially here, and I was like one of the main ones to say like, hey, I love my parents to death, but definitely like seeing how they were just accustomed to trying to get it right by following what their parents did, it just made me want to raise my kids different, knowing like whoopings ain't the answer to everything,
Mm,
knowing that it's okay to show emotions and things. But then for some reason I was sitting there and thinking like, dang, I would like to think I'm doing a good job, but who's to
yeah.
say? Like, they're gonna be like, I can tell you now, I'll never do what he did. So I just wanted to get y'all thoughts on, see, like, is it something that crossed y'all mind, or is it something like you like, nah? I mean, what do you think?
I want to say something before you go. My bad,
Hmm.
DJ.
No,
Uh,
no, you good. Go ahead.
I had seen a post or a video. I can't remember what it was. I came across it. And this had to be, man, maybe 2, 3 years ago, and it kind of stuck with me. But the premise of the video was the guy was going into he was talking about parenting from the like third generation's perspective. So the grandfather, um, he used to beat the dad, right? So he whooped the dad all the time, whooped the dad, whooped the dad. The dad whooped his son. I mean, no, he didn't whoop him. He yelled at him all the time. I'm sorry. So I guess one day they all had a conversation, and the dad asked the grandfather. He was like, why'd you like whoop me all the time? Like you used to whoop me, and I mean that's crazy. And he was like, the grandfather told him, said, I seen people get messed up by making incorrect decisions. Like really messed up, like, whether they fell into drugs or whatever the case may have been. Uh, um, and then I think he said his dad used to even like get drunk and beat him, like actually beat him. So, it was that. And then the grandson asked his dad, he was like, well, why did you always yell at me? And he said, well, my dad used to whoop me time, so I never wanted to whoop you. So, I just thought the best variation of that was to like yell at you, so I can get my point across. So I said that to say, granted, are these like complete opposite ends of the spectrum as far as like the way that we were parented, or we're doing parenting now? Yes, but I do think that no matter what, the kids are gonna find something that they don't like. Um,
Hmm.
and it's going to be something that they implement a change into their delivery when it comes to them raising their parents and their kids. uh
Hmm.
so I think yes, and I don't think it's because we're doing a bad job, because I don't think it's like I think the question said, like, it's not that our parents did a bad job, they did the best that they could. We're doing the best that we can now. So I think there's always going to be that.
Yeah,
Well, I ain't like
not
this.
gonna be
And
perfect.
also, too, we're talking about different personalities as well.
Okay.
So, maybe one child, you can whoop them all day, every day, and they're like, you know what, I get it. Like, I'm straight. They grow up and you have absolutely no problem with that. But the other child, they might not reciprocate that well. Or you yell at one child and he absolutely don't like that, but you yell at the other child and he's like, okay, now it's clicking, it makes sense. So, I
Yeah.
think it's a lot of factors in that.
No, I think I do like that idea, and I do agree that to an extent, like I think it's impossible to like fully get it right as a parent, at least from the perspective of your kid. I don't think I think if you go to any kid, or anybody as an adult, if you ask them their experience with their parents, it's gonna be some good, it's gonna be some bad, it's gonna be some ugly to an extent. But I mean, so sure, I'm sure when my son get older, there's going to be something that he was like, yeah, maybe my dad or my mom didn't get right. I would just hope that once he get to a certain age, because when I was 18, 19, I saw my mom's and any of my guardians, their way of like parenting me as wrong, and then as I became like my mid 20s, I saw it a different way. And now that I'm in my almost mid 30s, I see it a little bit of a different way. So and I'm a little bit more understanding of it. So I don't think that they'll. I mean, I don't think that my kids will grow up and say that I was a horrible parent. I would hope they did, and if they do, I mean, I would love to hear why, and I would, and if I really did miss something, then I would love to apologize for that. So, I don't. I think that would be a little bit of a difference in the way I would say I parent compared to what I got. You know, parenting wise was like a more understanding ear, and I was more than willing to. I was more than willing to hear you out, even if I didn't feel like that's true. You know, whereas I don't think I got that as an adult. I don't think I got that even as a teenager. Like, hey, why you
Okay.
feel this way? Didn't get that. So I would. I'm sure my son will have plenty of good, bad, and ugly to say about me, but I would hope he don't feel like I just completely dropped the ball as a parent. Like if I did, then I'd be like, dang, I really missed something because I've always, even at now, only at 6 years old, always try to have an open conversation. Why do you feel this way? You know, so it's a little different, man. But you know, I don't think you're ever gonna get it perfect. If you trying to be a perfect parent, bro, you're gonna run yourself crazy, you know. But I would love to be as good as I can be, you know, and do the most that I can. So it's a little different, man. I hope my kid don't wake up one day and be 20 years old, be like, dang man, I love my parent, but he ain't get it right. I'll be like, damn, straight up. Like, that's a little different. I mean, because that's a little different. Than my upbringing. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
like the upbringing was like because we was broke. We was broke. We was broke. So I mean, at least you ain't broke. You ain't my son. I like that'd be like if my son woke up and said that, I almost feel the equivalent of him waking up and saying, he came from nothing. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like, hold on, like dog, you got me fucked up. But yeah, so I hope that ain't the case. But I mean, I at the same time, I mean, if this Derek, if you watching this 30 years from now, please be honest if that's the case. But yeah, if you hit me with that, like, hey, my dad just didn't get it right at all, I'm like, dang, straight up. But because it was like I said, it was so different, bro. It was so different. Like you didn't have a voice in the house when I and my you try to have a voice in my mama house or my grandparents' house or my cousin
Facts.
house when I was living there. You didn't have that voice. You know what I'm saying? You was in somebody conversation too long, you gonna get smacked in the mouth. That's not the case in my house. So I would hope that you don't. You know, those are things where that's where I would say my mom got it wrong. You know,
Yeah.
so I like if I got it wrong, tell me where. You know what I'm saying? So you know
Say,
what I mean.
please.
So
Hey.
yeah, man. So I
But
don't know if you gonna ever get it perfect, but yeah.
I will say to like piggyback off what you said. I think that also goes into the morals and the principles that we instill too, because I mean, it's like you said. I think. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. It goes into the morals and principles that we instill in our kids, because if they get older and they say, "Oh, my dad, he was just a screw up. He didn't do absolutely nothing right for me." 9 times out of 10, in my head, and my belief is that you're unable to take accountability for whatever
Yeah.
actions that you've taken that have led you to
Mhm.
this point in your life now. So now you need a scapegoat and you need somebody to blame. And of course, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be the easiest one because I spent,
Yeah. The
however
most
long
time,
with
yeah.
you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think that's it. But I think, with the upbringing and the teachings and stuff that we're trying to instill in them now, I don't think there would be they might not like it. They might look back and be like, man, my dad was tripping. He did it one time. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think they
Yeah.
can just flat out say, oh, no, he just
Yeah.
screwed me
What
over.
about you, Josh? What you got?
uh, I don't know. Like you were saying, I hope my kids don't say I got it completely wrong. I definitely see the stuff that I've learned, especially because, like I said, I was a parent starting at 16, so definitely wasn't perfect. So with Shara, like each kid, I have three. I've learned something different, right? And I feel like Ashton is the only one getting the full benefit of the full spectrum, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, but because like even with Aiden, it was more like that's when I was still like in the process of trying to find out what parent I want to be. So of course I started off like my dad, and I felt I haven't shown enough emotion. Don't mean I don't hear him out, but it's more me showing it to him and
Right.
just being just open and honest and stuff like that. So I think that's what if like you grew up and you say that, I'd be like, yeah, nah, bet. And so trying to change that, and then like I said with my daughter, it was more like definitely didn't get that wrong. I mean, just threatened her. That was the best I could do. I never whooped her, but it was threatening her, and the threats was not cool. Like, hey, you want me to punch you in the face? She's like, no, sir. And it's like, okay, cool. But then, I mean, 16 telling a kid that is still not okay. So it's like,
Yeah.
so learning with that, man, it's I
Nah, 30
hope.
year old kid with a punch is crazy as hell. Though. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, that's in my mind. That's hey, I ain't gonna owe you. And she was just like, no, please don't punch me in the face. Then you had Aiden. He was like, please don't give me a whooping. Please punch me in the face. It was like, okay,
Yeah.
well, it's time to change these things. It just made me, kind of change. And so I would like to say, hopefully, like you said, it's not going to be perfect. I don't expect to be the perfect parent, but like you said, I definitely made a lot of changes, even after Aiden was born. Because, like you said, asking why used to never be a thing, but now, like even DJ, it was you that told me it was like sometimes kids actually want to know like why, so they'll understand why not to do it instead of doing it. Instead of as adults, like growing up, we just thought like people just thought we was being smart and didn't want to do what they were doing, which was the case. It was just like, no, I just need to know, like, I don't understand why I'm holding this above my head. Can you show me why? So just doing it like that, man. But I don't know. Aiden, I think gonna be the one. He gonna make a rap song regardless. So it's up.
Yeah. Nah, that's
So,
what I'm
Here
saying.
you go and open it.
If he say if my kid, if Derek say that I ain't like he came from nothing, like boy, when I tell you, bro, I'm gonna beat the hell up.
You
That's where the
listening? Go
threats gonna
pull
come
over.
from.
Be like, hold on, what? Hold on, turn that up for me. What do he
I was like, boy, your middle name
With a diss
Clarence.
track.
say?
You have to come back with a diss track, bro.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. But
But no,
yeah,
like you said,
man.
like no, the answer was good. But I don't know, something I was thinking about. But like you said, Sean, I think we ain't never gonna get it right. And as far as in their eyes, but I definitely think we've made strides to break a lot of generational curses. So I think at the end of the day, that's all we can do is hopefully push forward and hopefully take all my kids take something from me and implement it and make it better.
Okay. My last question for y'all then. When it come to parenting or whatever, especially because y'all got boys and girls, are you supposed to raise your boys different from your girls? Do y'all think that, or is this there? Should there be a just a dead set way that you're supposed to raise your kid?
Mm-mm. You gotta do them
It's
different.
yeah, I about to say it's different to an extent.
What
Um,
way do y'all treat them different then?
for me, it's hard because Shara is the oldest, but she's 16, about to be 17, and Aiden he 10. So a lot of things that, as far as like the staying out, the going, it's like it's just different. Um, as far as money wise, the needs, allowance, Aiden, I know what his allowance for is. He wants toys. Shara,
Well,
for
hold on. Let me. I guess to add some perspective for it then. So if Shira she's 16, Aiden is 10. So how you parent Shira at 16? Are you going to? Would you do that same like go about the same way when Aiden turns 16?
yeah, for the most part,
Okay.
but with I mean stipulations, 'cause it was crazy because my parents always was like, yeah, they let me go, but they was like, if you was a girl, you couldn't because a girl mostly always brought the baby home, and she was like, you ain't bringing the baby in my house. It was like,
And then you ended up bringing the baby home
yeah,
too.
but it was like, hey, she gonna be here Monday through Friday. Hey. But no, I'll say for the most part, it's just as far as like I guess different lead ways of knowing, especially with me just knowing how guys was. So me telling Shara of as far as like how guys talk to you, just making sure she understands that she's beautiful. So when she hears it for the first time, it's not like a wow factor and things like that. So with Aiden, I don't have. He's already conceded, like to the point. So it's just like different things like that of just trying to instill those different things.
No, okay. So if you found out, because I feel like y'all capping a little bit, because if y'all found out, so if you found out at 16, let's say Aiden was he had a little girl in the room, would you feel the same way if you found Shira with a boy?
Of course, I wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. It's different. You talking about?
What about you, Shaw?
Hell
I
no.
mean,
Especially
I
80
think
years
we
old as
all know
me.
the answer to that. Anybody who say that is lying, bro.
Yeah, I'm
Like
about to say, what are you
anybody
talking
who
about?
say that's lying. Like anybody
That's
who
what I
say that's
said.
lying. I seen the well, I'll go into that in a second. We'll
I'm
do
about to
that.
say, only
Remind
how
me
I'm mad
after
at
this.
Aiden is his mama around. This is his mama around.
Yeah.
Yeah, then of course I can't believe you. As soon as you leave, hey, well, come here. What you should have told me.
Hell nah. Nah, I ain't gonna
But
lie though. I don't want my son. I don't want my son jumping off the porch at a young age. And if I had a daughter, it would be the same thing. I ain't gonna lie. Just as somebody who jumped off the porch at an extremely young
But I was
age.
about to say, what's
Uh,
the young age now? Because I would say now they saying 9 years old
yeah,
is so.
well, if either one of my kids was
yeah.
going there at 9 years old, I would be ready to kill something.
I
But
mean,
but I mean,
These kids are growing up
even in
fast,
high
bro.
school, I just feel like, bro, just
yeah, no. I was about to say to me, if I could tell
I'm not
both my kids,
encouraging it, I guess.
yeah. I would tell both my kids no, but at the same time, I'm not done. Whether it's shower or my thing is like, I'd rather us have the conversation and be honest than you going to your friends who don't know anything. That's the most thing I
Yeah.
preach to shower. Like, if you have questions, like, I'd rather you come to me so I can give you real answers instead of y'all just Googling stuff and thinking, like, oh, yeah, no, this should be cool. And then the consequences. So,
Yeah. Yeah, nah, cause that's what I mean. I guess that was my thing. Like at that young age that I started, like I just was just lucky enough to not get caught into a situation where I could have been, having a child that same age as you or younger,
yeah.
so that's why I'm like, nah, if I found that out, I'd be like, bro, what are you doing, bro? And you not even ready for it. And I just feel like with little boys, like little girls, if when they lose their virginity young, like I think it's traumatizing for them or whatever, and they don't really fully understand it until they get older. And then even with little boys, they just hypersexualize themselves.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a problem. I feel like that's a problem in our community in general. It's just a lot of people lack that um they don't know how to they don't have that self-control. And I think a lot of that is because of like hypersexuality at young ages. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't want my son even to have sex at a young age. Like when I was when he was young as hell, when I was a little younger and before I even had, I was like, yeah, man, my son, I'll be
Oh,
happy.
yeah, of
But
course.
then now that I've gotten older, I'm like, man, bro, this is exactly why so many young dudes like just not where they need to be. Cause like once you get that, that's all that's on your mind. Cause I remember my entire time in high school, like that's all I was thinking about.
Yeah.
That's all I was thinking about outside of playing sports was like, is it a chance for me to get like the moment I start talking to a girl, like I'm instantly like, dang, I hope she let me get some. Like,
Yeah.
and not even put no you like that. Just and that's like I know that's the like your mind is so warped or whatever. Cause I be talking to some of my homeboys now who grown as hell and just do not know how to like fall back a little bit to get your life together. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk to them, they life so messed up, but everything they want to talk about is this chick that they hollering at. I'm like, bro, you don't have a car. You barely have a job. Like you don't have no type of money. You look terrible right now. And the thing that you thinking about right now is some ass. And it's like, it's because we so hypersexualized. And it's like, that's why you will never be on the same path as other people because we so like
No.
everything so sexual. Like, bro, get off that girl for a second. Go like like go get something. Like go get to it. Like that bothers me now. I mean, but like I said, I understand it because I've been that person. But once I realize how much you can like come up in the world if you just take a quick second and be like, all right, like let me my stuff ain't together right now. I don't need to be texting nobody. Like we can text, but it can't I'm not too worried about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't have that type of self-control when that's all that's on your mind. So I'll be a little bit bothered. But yeah, I do agree that you do raise your daughters and your sons a little different. But when it comes to like sexual stuff and like all that stuff, I think, both
Yeah,
of them
it
need
gotta
to be
be.
protected. And I think that's also why so many little boys have been through some form of sexual like molestation and stuff like that at a young age is because we over not overprotect, but we are very protective of our daughters, but we're not as protective of our sons because we
Big
like
facts.
like a badge of honor, you know what I'm saying, to
Yeah.
get
Yep.
some. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, your little babysitter gave you a little tug out at 12 years old and you think that's just the coolest thing in the world, but then you don't know why, like everything when you're talking to a girl, why you everything leads to sex. Because you got tugged out when you was 12 years old by by a fucking 17-year-old girl. You know what I mean? And you don't understand that like now that's all your mind is on. So I don't know. I'm being a little bit overcritical, but that's
Huh?
just yeah, something that I
Nah,
think
you
about
talk.
nowadays
Yeah, I think that's accurate though. I don't think there's no off statement with what you said. I think to kind of touch on that too though, it's like what makes it difficult is like okay, you also have everything that you turn on TV right now. It's
hmm
hypersexualized, brother. Like even the cartoons. You look at the teacher. I know when we was kids, we look at the teacher on the cartoon. She had them titties out, like you know what I'm saying. Like, but it's that times 10 now. Like it's on steroids now. Like everything is. It may be quote unquote subtle. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we're not trying to put it in your face, but it's in your face. But I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, so then you have to battle with that too.
yeah. No, I feel that. But yeah, man, that's all I really had, man. I don't know if y'all want to hop into any other topics or we can chop it
Nah,
there.
I'm gonna say I feel it's a good first one back. Season 3, episode 1. Tight shit, tight shit.
For sure, for sure. Well, yeah, man, before we leave out, if y'all got anything y'all want to promote,
Yes. Shawn is streaming now over on Kick. So make sure y'all come. Uh Braxton, he
Check
called the lady. He
I,
gon'
I,
he's
I
gon'
ain't.
I'll believe it when I see it, Chat. I'm not going to.
I'm about to be screaming. I'm about to be screaming. I know it's been like 4 years, but it's about to happen.
Hey, that
I'm about to
finally
be
got
the
that
next.
shipment in.
So I
Shout
about to
out to
say
that
y'all
lady.
just support it. I about to say over there the vibes is like this, but a little bit more unfiltered and definitely more hilarious. So yeah, that's what I want to plug, man. Stay with the guys. We got some things coming, man.
Yeah, for sure. Well, one thing I want to plug, I wish I had his thing, but my homeboy Isaiah or Zay, he got his own cigar
Oh
line
snap.
line out here. It's called Triple R Cigars. So if anybody on here, and when we pop it on YouTube as well, when you read it, just look it up. If you, especially if you into cigars, Triple R Cigars, black owned cigar line. He's based out of here in California, so Northern Cal. He do a lot of events or whatever. I done pulled up to a couple of them, so.
Or is
Uh,
he able to ship?
yeah, I think
So that's
he
what
is.
I
I
asked.
think I think he is able to ship now. I know he was like getting all of that
Okay.
together. But yeah, man, check him out. Yeah, it's like I said, I would have never even thought how to even get a cigar line. So I mean,
Nah,
I'm
facts.
people. I never like my mind is never. People blow my mind every time they got a new thing. I'm like, dang, I don't know why I never thought of that. You know what I'm saying? But I thought it was fire. Especially like once we went to his events, I actually seen it's actually a couple black owned cigar lines too, or whatever, and all his shit top of the line. He'd be able to give you all the the info on it. So yeah, I thought that was a fire though. So once again, Triple R Cigars, check them out. But yeah, that's all
Bet.
I got though.
All right, man. Bet.
Well,
See
yeah,
y'all next week.
like, share, subscribe.
Bet.